Sup? I'm Hyde of Gaming Rabbit 17. Until Rabbit gets back, you got me instead. I'm a Bumblebee, not quite the one you know, but the one that evolves from a Bunebi, much like Banuri, which is what Rabbit is. So yeah, we're our brothers. Now, I don't quite have the same powers as him, but try anyway. In my own way, hold on. Digging the sand is no easy task. Luckily, this is Minecraft, so no sand and pants here. First Pokemon is a convergent evolution of the Paralull line, though instead of morels and shiitake mushrooms, both are parasol mushrooms. Paralull, a water and fairy type, the drink umbrella Pokemon. This Pokemon likes hanging around liquids, and their spores can enhance the quality of drinks. However, if you put too much, you will be lured to sleep, much like the spores of Paralull. This Pokemon is a good companion for those with sleep-related issues. Paralull is not based on any specific parasol mushroom and evolves the same as Paralull. Solanotic, a water and fairy type, the beach umbrella Pokemon. Often found on beaches, this Pokemon digs into the beach to anchor themselves against the wind. This Pokemon happily lets trainers and Pokemon alike use the shade they provide and considers them under its care for the duration. It becomes very aggressive if anyone under their shade is attacked. This Pokemon is a good companion for those with sleep-related issues. Their ability is really only useful in double battles and has the description, umbrellas can be used to block a large number of weather effects. Solanotic is based on the pleated ink cap, also known as the... Parasola plicatellus. Next is the Submission for Astreat, a frozen yogurt form for Vanillite that evolves into a large number of popsicle forms. Fro-Yo form Vanillite, a pure ice type, the frozen yogurt Pokemon. This form of Vanillite is closer in texture to frozen yogurt than it is to snow. It is believed this form first appeared when a Vanillite got trapped in a frozen yogurt shop. This Pokemon evolves into a Pokemon with many forms depending on how you interact with it. From here, how you interact with your Fro-Yo form Vanillite will determine what form and type of Popsiluxe they evolve into. Let's go with Ice first. It is the only one with a middle Evo, and it is a level up Evo with similar levels to that of Vanillite's regular line. Popsilish, a pure ice type, the popsicle Pokemon. Why would you choose this form? Not even Popsilish likes this form. All Popsiluxe have the same dex entry, with one line unique to each of them. Popsiluxe, a pure ice type, the popsicle Pokemon. This Pokemon has many forms. It is believed as more types are discovered, more forms of this Pokemon will be revealed. You really thought this form would be better? Now it's even more angry. The rest of the Popsiluxe forms are of the category of the deluxe popsicle Pokemon. They all have the primary type of ice and will be introduced by their secondary typing. Hi, out of character moment here, Rabbit the person, not the character. To avoid any confusion, for these moments, I am just going to refer to myself as GR17 or Grin. Admittedly, I was planning to only do 2 or 3 forms of this Pokemon for this challenge, and save the rest for other videos, but I just kept going until I had a form for all the types, including custom types, so I just decided to include them all. And here's a fun challenge for you guys. Leave a comment with your guesses on what each of the forms are based on. You ready? Let's go! Bug form Popsiluxe. To evolve into this form, your Vanillite must be in a party with a Popsiluxe of any type, and have that Popsiluxe faint. This form is quite friendly and can commonly be found in neighborhoods. Dark form Popsiluxe. To evolve into this form, your Vanillite must be in a party with 2 Popsiluxe of any type, and have both Popsiluxes faint in the same battle. Despite this form's broody nature, it works better with friends. Dragon form Popsiluxe. To evolve into this form, have a savory food-related Pokemon like Doxbun in your party. If you thought the normal form was confusing, somehow this form is more reminiscent of a frozen corn dog. Dream form Popsiluxe. To evolve into this form, take your Vanillite to the Dream Realm. This form is obsessed with dreams and will attempt to protect you from nightmares while you sleep. Electric form Popsiluxe. To evolve into this form, have a Pikachu in your party. This form looks eerily familiar. Fairy form Popsiluxe. To evolve into this form, have 2 Vanillite with high friendship in your party and evolve one. The other will evolve into the fire form. Rumors say letting this form near the fire form will cause both to die. Fighting form Popsiluxe. To evolve into this form, bring your Vanillite to the local Pokemon professor, the bubbliest of all the forms. Fire form Popsiluxe. To evolve into this form, have 2 Vanillite with high friendship in your party and evolve 1. The other will evolve into the fairy form. Be careful, or this form might steal your heart. Flying form Popsiluxe. To evolve into this form, flee from a battle against a cat Pokemon. This form, paired with the psychic form, may lead to some loony antics. Ghost form Popsiluxe. To evolve into this form, your Vanillite must be defeated by a round Pokemon, like Voltorb. This form heavily dislikes spherical objects and Pokemon. Grass form Popsiluxe. To evolve into this form, have a ghost type in your party. This Pokemon is an effective protector, especially against anything that looks like it's rotting. Ground form Popsiluxe. To evolve into this form, turn your console upside down. Oh no, what have you done? You spilled the ice cream. Light form Popsiluxe. To evolve into this form, be in a party with at least one other Vanillite and or Popsiluxe, and have this one faint. This form loves its friends and would do anything for them. Normal form Popsiluxe. To evolve into this form, have a sweet food related Pokemon, not counting Vanillite or Vanillite Evos of any form, in your party. Even this form is confused how it became a cake pop instead of a popsicle. Poison form Popsiluxe. To evolve into this form, your Vanillite must faint from the poisoned condition. Do not attempt to eat what this Pokemon offers. Psychic form Popsiluxe. To evolve into this form, have a duck Pokemon in your party. This form loves messing with others. Rock form Popsiluxe. To evolve into this form, you must have a high friendship with your Vanillite and a party full of Fro-Yo Vanillite and or Popsiluxe. This form is reminiscent of a popular treat to share with friends. Sound form Popsiluxe. To evolve into this form, have a team full of sound types. This form loves to sing, and its song just gets more complicated as its singing group grows. Steel form Popsiluxe. To evolve into this form, use a metal coat on your Vanillite. This form has a thin layer of chocolate coating it. It is unclear how this is enough to protect it, but it does. Water form Popsiluxe. To evolve into this form, your Vanillite must be defeated by a move super effective to fairy types. Somehow this form is just frozen water. It is unclear where all the yogurt went. Stellar form Popsiluxe. And finally, to evolve into this form, give your Vanillite the Stellar Terra Perma type. This form, while similar to its fairy form, has a deeper connection to the terrestrial phenomenon. This was mistakenly not added in the dex, but the Popsiluxes do have a signature ability in Flavorful, with the description, "The flavor of the popsicle really stands out, doesn't it?" Ooh, that looked like that guy was struggling. That many Popsiluxes in the same area probably made the place too cold to handle. Now for the last of my conversion devos, this one for Voltorb. Blazeorb, a pure fire type, the Fireball Pokemon. The fuse on its head acts like a countdown timer to its evolution. It dreads the day this happens and avoids battle where it can. This Pokemon was originally found in old battlefields, bringing about the rumor that the original Blazeorbs were once unexploded bombs. Unlike Voltorb, this Pokemon is not easily mistaken for a Pokeball. Much like Voltorb, this Pokemon evolves at level 30. Unlike Voltorb, Blazeorb only learns Explosion upon evolution. Fireball, a pure fire type, the Fireball Pokemon. The beard of this Pokemon is a series of constant explosions. Be careful where you take this Pokemon, as its explosive beard may accidentally start fires. It takes quite some doing for this Pokemon to evolve. Only the most strategic of fireballs can become Octobombs. Despite its looks, it is not as twitchy as Electrode. Fireball has the ability Constant Explosions, with the description, "This Pokemon is constantly exploding." But that is not all. Fireball evolves once again, which requires its Constant Explosions ability. Without fighting, use Explosion to fight 10 opponents. Octobomb, a pure fire type, the Fireball Pokemon. This Pokemon has gained control over its explosions in the form of fiery tentacles. Despite the show of control, it now struggles even more with trying not to set things on fire. This Pokemon enjoys nature, but it easily gets distressed if its fires get too out of control. Trainers are recommended to have a Pokemon that can put out fires if they take this Pokemon out for a nature walk. Incinerate is a simpler ability that just causes normal type moves to become fire type. This line is only loosely based on fireworks. The biggest connection is that fireworks in this line are both bombs with fancy explosions. Now what is something you always take on vacation, no matter how long or how short it is? Luggage, of course. Lugbug, a pure bug type, the luggage Pokemon. This Pokemon enjoys hiding among luggage, waiting for unsuspecting victims to steal items from. It has two mouths, one where it stores its stolen treasures and another for food. Trainers will find this Pokemon will defend any items they store within it rigorously. Despite the name, this Pokemon has no relation to the Lugbug line. Unlike multidimensional, Backpack does not prevent Pokemon from being able to battle. Unlike the teased Pokemon in the last entry to the challenge, Lugbug is certainly not a Pokemon I've ever heard of. One popular competition is baking and cooking competitions. A group of this next line of Pokemon is even called a kitchen. Pugger, a pure fairy type, the porter Pokemon. You know you are near or in Platypie territory when you hear the cries of this Pokemon. Many say it sounds very similar to the phrase "Yes, Chef." The lighter the head fur, the more experienced they are, and the closer they become to learning the secrets of evolving. This Pokemon is very loyal and loves to help out, especially in the kitchen. Most Pugger in a Platypie kitchen are the children of the female Platypie in charge. Pugger evolves when given a metal coat, and has significant sexual dimorphism in its evolution. Platypie, female, a fairy and steel type, the Pizzaiola Pokemon. Traditionally, when a Platypie kitchen wins a territory dispute, they gain shed fur from the victor, which the Platypie use to build up their hats. The bigger the hat, the more successful they are. Many make small medallions they stick on their body as an additional reminder of their baking prowess. Female Platypie sweat various pizza sauces depending on the items that are fed to it. In the wild, it is rumored they can also make the necessary substance needed to evolve a Pugger. Platypie, male, a fairy and steel type, the Pizzaiola Pokemon. Females prefer bigger foot cutters and cheese cutter tails. Males can secrete an olive oil-like substance to their pizza cutters that helps keep their feet clean while skating around and cutting pizzas. If necessary, they can make their olive oil bitter to act as a poison against enemies. The more successful female Platypie tend to have more males helping her out. The male with medallions and the biggest hat is a female Platypie's sous chef and partner. Normally, Rabbit does not leave notes on the gender ratio of any given Pokemon, but this one seems to have a 7-to-1 ratio in favor of males. Also, the pictures provided are of a young Pugger, a regular male Platypie, and an extremely successful female Platypie. This next line actually came about as a prompt from my brother. Waxeal, a pure fire type, the Waxeal Pokemon. Through much selective breeding, this Pokemon has become small enough to be used as a seal for a letter. However, they never lost their firepower to the point it is dangerous to touch them. In the past, many royals bred this Pokemon to have their specific seal. Many descendants of those Waxeal still have the original symbol on their backside, while many more have some combination of their ancestors' symbols. The design you see on Waxeal is the symbol for the 8th Reverse Foundation. This Pokemon has a split Evo. The first requires the trainer to teach Waxeal Headbutt. Elestamp, a fire and fighting type, the Waxeal Pokemon. Many trainers from royal backgrounds would bring this Pokemon along to literally leave their personal stamp on their victories. It heats its waxy nose with its mouth before using it to stamp its nose design. This Pokemon loves stamping and will stamp anything and everything to mark their territory. Waxeal's other evolution is achieved when leveling up while outside of its Pokeball after the player walks 1,000 steps. Waxalumph, a pure fire type, the Waxeal Pokemon. Upon evolution, this Pokemon has cooled down, but is still dangerous to the touch. Any intricate design has been lost. Instead, they galump around, leaving behind melted wax to make an intricate design. It is considered a nuisance for most, especially to farmers. Some artists obtain this Pokemon to help in their own art and to train them to make certain designs. Did you know the way seals get around is called galumphing? This tiny fellow has caused a lot of problems. Probably wouldn't be as much of a problem if they were larger and thus easier to catch. And finally, learning. Even on summer vacation, you can keep your mind sharpened by heading to the library and checking out books. What the books are about doesn't matter. Fiction is just as good, if not better, than non-fiction at keeping your mind and imagination flowing. Bookwyrm, a pure bug type, the bookmark Pokemon. This worm-like Pokemon excretes a substance that can be used to bind to books and repair old ones. If you mistreat your book in any way, you may find this Pokemon passive-aggressively acting as a bookmark for your book, and will actively attempt to intimidate you into taking care of your books properly. Bookwyrm is a level up Evo. Entome, a pure bug type, the cocoon Pokemon. The better you take care of your books, the sooner Bookwyrm evolves. This Pokemon hides out in libraries where its evil line dwells. Its shell feels leathery, and it prefers to hide among books until it evolves. At most, this Pokemon can only shuffle around. And another level up Evo. Lybern, a bug and dragon type, the bookkeeper Pokemon. This Pokemon works well with Magroil and its pre-evolutions to repair books and take care of libraries. You know, any library with these two lines are well taken care of. While Magroil is the better repairer of books, Lybern is the better protector. It is said that well-read Lybern are able to communicate with humans in their own tongue. You gotta take care of your books, especially in the library books. While you do have bookkeepers in your own world, they don't magically repair missing pages like these guys can. Take care of your books so you can enjoy them later. Take care of library books so they can be enjoyed by all. Summer is a fun break from school, sure. You can go to the beach, enjoy some frozen treats while watching fireworks. However, no matter where you go on vacation, you gotta keep your mind sharp, which can be done by participating in competitions, or any form of art, whether you make it or just enjoy it. Just because it's summer doesn't mean you should be a break from learning. There are plenty of ways to learn while you are having fun. Don't let your brain go idle. Maybe nearing the end of summer for a lot of people, but never stop learning and never stop having fun while doing it. For now, thank you for watching. Hope you had a great summer, and good luck to all starting school again this fall. And subscribe so we can see you again soon. And while you're down there, leave a like and a comment. See ya!